Contrary to the claims of the opposition People's Progressive Party, Minister of State Joseph Harmon said government does not target persons who may merely seem to have close affiliation with the PPP. The minister also denied claims that the amount of persons fired, sent on leave, or who did not have their contracts renewed since the administration took office has amounted to thousands.
There's nothing like thousands of employees being fired. There are persons who I indicated here at these press conferences who were doing primarily political work for the PPP and being paid by the government. We made a very clear distinction where that was concerned. We were not concerned about what political party you represent, what your political views are. But if you are doing government work, then we have no problem with that. But if you're being paid by the government to do purely party work, we have a problem with that.
The Minister of State promised to discuss this matter further during his budget debate on Friday afternoon. He also reiterated during the weekly post-cabinet press briefing that persons who are doing political work for a specific party must be paid by that party.
There are persons who were on contracts and the contracts had expired, and in fact the contracts were not renewed. This was a jeopardy which in fact the PPP administration placed a number of public servants in.
Minister Harmon pointed a finger at the PPP for the numerous job losses as he neglected to explain why many contracts were not renewed. He said having government employees on contracts was being used as a control mechanism by the previous administration.
In the traditional public service, there's a particular procedure which has to be followed. But they forced a lot of public servants to go on to this contract arrangement by giving them inducements of a gratuity every 6 months or a gratuity every 3 months. And some of them took that. But what that did was that it gave the government at that time control over these public servants, because they knew that every time the contract came up for renewal, then if they did not behave themselves in a way that the government considered to be appropriate, then they can be let go.
During the lead-up to the 2015 elections, government had vowed on the campaign trail to get to the bottom of corruption. As a result, it has launched investigations into a number of state agencies and boards. Thus far, the findings of these investigations have led to some officials losing their jobs. But what remains unclear is why contracts of some public officials were not renewed since investigations are ongoing, and it has not been proven whether some of these persons were involved in corrupt practices. For HGP Nightly News, I'm Erica Williams.